Hey guys, it's JMeyels, and you will not believe who has announced that they are coming back to Apex after all of this time being on the down low, the ups and the downs with the roster that he used to be with. They were such a big organization, probably the fan favorites back in the day before TSM, and one of their players is indeed coming back. Also, some big controversy regarding NICKMERCS being invited to the ALGS pro scene, and much more news in today's video. So make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Don't forget the finalists from last videos down in the comment section below as well, and we're going to be picking that winner tomorrow live on stream, so make sure to tune in if you'd like to. Also, I want to apologize for the second half of the video. The gameplay may be a little bit pixelated. It's because I had to actually download it from YouTube. I was recording all morning, and every single gameplay that I recorded got corrupt, so I just had to deal with what I had. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So first off, I want to make mention of this. I thought this was absolutely hilarious to see because so many people were dogging on Seer way before ALGS said he was useless, he was not good, and then all of a sudden when they saw his Watson and Imperial How and other pro teams running Seer in their ALGS composition, all of a sudden now he's just been absolutely abused. So many people are using him. Everybody's even calling for his nerf. Well, now he is the fourth most picked legend in Master and Apex Predator all game modes combined. I just cannot believe to see something like this. Just all of a sudden a trend happened, and then the player pick rate got boosted up. That just goes to show you that the pick rates cannot really be trusted 100% because they're not really entirely based on how good that legend is. It's really sometimes coming down to trends and how willing people are to learn legends. I almost wish when they bring nerfs or buffs that they would start to consider, hey, like, you go ahead and acknowledge, we understand that it's not all about pick rates, but here's why we made this decision, because I'm getting really sick of hearing, hey, we're doing this because their pick rate's too high. Also in the news, I cannot believe that I saw this on Twitter. So if you guys remember back in the day, the OG NRG, the team was Dizzy, Aceu, and Mohr. I don't know if you pronounce it Mohr, like M-O-R-E, but I've just always pronounced it Mohr. Anyhow, I would argue that the NRG with Dizzy, Aceu, and Mohr was actually probably a little bit more popular than TSM because, you know, these guys were the first. Dizzy was by far the fan favorite in every single thing that he played, and then whenever they left, obviously TSM took over because they were still like the only OGs really left. Anyhow, Mohr's been actually teasing his return the last couple of weeks, saying basically he's been watching ALGS and it looked really sick, he might make a return. Then all of a sudden last night he dropped it on and says he's looking for a team for year 3 of ALGS. He's willing to play any role, legend, experienced player, can IGL, and all of that. So it looks like he's actually making a return to Apex. Really good to see, especially from a fan favorite team back in the day. And also I would really wonder if they're actually having to go through all of these like qualifiers or the leagues, or I'm sure they're not really getting an automatic invite to the year 3 pro league. That just wouldn't make sense considering he hasn't played in quite some time. Speaking of getting invited to the pro league, this is where the controversy definitely steps in. So none other than NICKMERCS gets his invite to the pro league to year 3 ALGS, and there is a lot of controversy regarding this, and the reason is because many people say he does not deserve the invite over some other teams. Now personally, I just want to say I think that NICKMERCS probably does deserve an invite. They definitely did really good during the last session. However, I don't think he deserves it over some other teams. I think more so the problem is not necessarily the fact that he got an invite, it's the problem that not everybody else got an invite. I think there should be less exclusivity, if that's a word, or more inclusion, I guess I should say. Well, TSM's manager actually spoke out about it as well, and actually was calling out Respawn for the lack of communication, but it started with a couple of tweets like this. You know, Nate basically saying inviting NICKMERCS to pro league just shows how much Apex Legends is fishing for an increase in viewership. There was also text saying, I'm gonna be real, NICKMERCS should not have got an invite over teams like XSET, especially without playing Split 1 or Split 2. Then Noko said, I'm seeing a lot of hate towards NICKMERCS. They 100% deserve a pro league invite. They placed top 10 in Challenger Circuit and placed top 10 in finals of LCQ. I don't know where everyone else is getting this hate from. They definitely deserve that spot. If it was me, I'd 100% think I deserved it. Nice Week also saying they 100% deserve the spot. Now, like I said, this is where the controversy comes in because personally, I think that NICKMERCS probably does deserve the spot, but it also XSET deserved the spot and a couple other people deserve the spot. So I think it's more so not necessarily the fact that they don't deserve it. You just have to question, do they deserve it over these other teams that definitely outperform NICKMERCS' team? That's where the controversy really steps in. You got to really weigh the balances here and say, you know, does NICKMERCS deserve a spot? Maybe so, but when you compare his team to the other teams, you can't tell me that by inviting NICKMERCS and not inviting those other teams, you are subconsciously saying that these other teams do not deserve it, and they definitely do deserve it. But NICKMERCS actually replied to all of this when he was responding to someone and says, who gives a crap? If you don't get invited, so what? Play through the challengers and get in. Any team that's afraid of that shouldn't even be in pro league to begin with. And I can agree with that as well. He said, we're happy to be in, but we would have been fine either way. That is something I definitely agree with. I do wonder though if any of these T1 orgs that maybe did not get a spot will drop their players all because they're looking for a team that's actually in the, you know, league already. And obviously it would really suck if a T1 org dropped their team all because, you know, maybe they did deserve a spot, but they gave it to NICKMERCS' team instead. To be fair, it's not Nick's fault either. Obviously he had nothing to do with getting this invite. And honestly, I'm pretty sure there's some other teams who are a little bit less deserving of Nick's team that got an invite. So I think they should be more focused on those teams and not necessarily Nick. I mean, for instance, this guy is apparently a wall hacker who got invited to ALGS Pro League Year 3. He says Pro League 3 invited, and then Tech retweeted it and says, am I blind or did EA just invite a wall hacker to the Pro League? Facepalm man. And everybody here obviously roasting the guy. Eventually the guy ended up turning his comments off. This could obviously be trolled to some degree, but people were even tagging the people over at EA responsible for this, and they just simply did not respond. So it would not surprise me at all if they actually did invite a hacker, because that just seems like the Respawn and EA type of thing to do. But this is what TSM's Apex Legends manager said about the whole situation. He was actually doing an interview with Jake Lucky. He actually said it was Respawn's fault. So take a look at this clip.
The main issue being that they were never transparent enough to tell the public to say, hey, LCQ2 is going to be very important if you didn't make split 2 playoffs or chance.
They didn't. It's not that they weren't transparent. They just never mentioned it at all. So once a team realized, hey, after these like first 4 games, I can't make it into the top 2, so I'm just gonna go grief and like play a random troll comp or something like that, and just have fun kind of thing, right? A lot of teams did that because they weren't told LCQ2 results will directly affect whether you get an invite or not. And that's where the problem occurred.
Tfue also heard of the news, and I thought this was actually funny hearing his response. It was definitely a little bit different, but basically he said that if he was owning Apex or Fortnite, he's inviting every big streamer, and he doesn't really care who really deserves it because he's trying to get viewership. And if you want to go play a real competitive game, go play Valorant. Take a look at this clip on his opinion on the situation.
You're playing a competitive battle royale, Omega lol, dude. If I own Fortnite or if I own Apex Legends, bro, I'm inviting every big streamer to play in my events, dude. No matter how much money's on the line or what, bro. It's fucking battle royale, dude. If you want to go play a real competitive game, go play fucking Valorant.
But before we can ever get our hopes up about the future of Apex, we really need to worry about the current situation, because I talked about this in yesterday's video. But look, this is another issue happening. ESA apparently was canceled last night after only 4 games because of more custom server instability. Apex cannot get their custom servers to be stable. They can't get them going correctly, and this is causing so many issues in every single pro scene, every single tournament that they're trying to do. Server lag is unreal. I tried to get into a firing range game yesterday. I couldn't even get out of the spawn because it was lagging me backwards so much. This is what I was talking about in yesterday's video. How can you be so happy about the future when all you can see right now is the plaguing issues that make the content not even worth it? I mean, it's not just that. We also talked about the Apex glitch that's going on right now with the coins, where if you're on Xbox, I believe, if you're buying the coins in the game, apparently they don't appear in your account, and many people are trying to buy the event stuff and they can't even get the coins to do so. So it's like, how can you really be that excited when all you see is this issues going on? Also, I want to make mention here right before we bounce out of here, Discord apparently is coming to Xbox. That's a huge W. Really glad to see this, because every time I get on Xbox, I want to play with people on Discord, but that's one of the reasons that I've honestly stayed off of my Series X as much as I have. It'd be really nice to finally get on Discord with people, and finally I can play with my Xbox friends and listen to them on Discord rather than having to use the awful Apex game chat that they refuse to fix. And hopefully this will be a really good step in the right direction for the future of all gaming. Hey, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below for a chance to win that 10,000 Apex coins. Don't forget, we're picking the winner tomorrow, and thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity, and until the next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later, Gators.